Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Ryan, and today we're talking about some tips and tricks to keep your bike running well all season long. Now, best parts of biking, going fast. You're going downhill, you're getting where you want to go. Now, go, 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 go. But the fun kind of stops if you can't stop. And by that I mean brake pads. So today we're talking about changing out your brake pads and making sure that you're able to stop when you want to and that we don't have to call 911 for you. The tools we're going to need today are very simple. For this specific bike, because it has rotor brakes, I'm going to need a pair of pliers, which I have right here, because this specific set has a cotter pin to help keep the brake pads in place. Other sets have a screw, some have a cotter pin. Make sure to check on your calipers to see which ones you have and the proper tools you'll need. For this one, like I said, it's a cotter pin, so I'll need a pair of pliers to be able to take out that cotter pin and successfully reinstall it. Along with that, we need new brake pads, ones that actually have the pad surface on them. If your old brake pads don't have that pad surface, you really need to change them. And we're happy to do it for you if you're uncomfortable, or if you'd like us to teach you, we're also happy to do that. But make sure that the brakes are matched to the caliper. There's many different styles and types of brake pads. We want to make sure you get the ones that are correct for your bike so everything will run smoothly and most importantly, stop smoothly. All right guys, we're here changing out the brakes. I've left the wheel on just so we can do a quick demonstration of how to take it off, just with the quick release mechanism over on my left hand. We're to loosen that, just like your seat post. We'll unscrew it from the right side, make sure we have plenty of space. We'll just lightly push it out. You don't want to force it. If you're trying to force it, there's something wrong. All right, so now we have a good view of our caliper with our brake pads inside. And that cotter pin, like we talked about earlier, is just right here. So we need to make sure we take this out first before any of the brake pads. So that's where our pliers come in handy. We'll have to bend that bent piece straight. You see that right there? So now that's straight, in line with the other piece, and that way it'll just slide right out. Keep track of it. Make sure you know where it is. I'm setting it just down the side of my right foot. And from there, I can just pop the brake pads out. Brake pads only go in and go out one direction from here. Make sure to verify with your specific caliper how they enter and how they exit, because it'll be a little bit different for each one. Like I said, just give that a little push with my finger and the whole assembly comes out. By that, I mean we have two brake pads, 1 and 2, and then we have our brake pad spring right here, which goes in between them to help push those brake pads out. Make sure they don't clamp down on your rotor. Because then those brakes are great, they're super awesome, but then you aren't able to go anywhere. So we want to avoid that. So make sure you have all 3 of these pieces upon reinstallation of your new brake pads, which I've set just down here to my right. They'll come in a little package. We have 1 pad, 2 pads, and then our spring. So we'll open those up. We'll retrieve the individual pieces, and then we'll make a nice little brake sandwich. If you like s'mores or Oreos, this is your time to shine, which I do. I love Oreos. So we'll get them set apart like that, just like the cute little helpful and safety sandwich cookies they are. Slide them back together, you see that in there? I've squeezed this spring in between the 2 pads, just so I can hold everything together nice and easy. And then we'll slide those up and in the same way that they came out. It's okay if you have to finagle with it a little bit to get it back in. I've had a lot of practice. So now they're back in. And like you're able to see on those other brake pads, there's a little hole just at the top. This is where the cotter pin sits to hold those brake pads in place. So like I said, make sure you keep track of that cotter pin. Mine's just right here. And we had the loop to the outside of the bike. So we're gonna take that and we're just gonna slide it right in, right through the brake pads, the spring, and the other pad out the other side. We're gonna take our pliers again, and we're gonna grab the long leg of the cotter pin, which is right here. We're gonna grab that, and we're just gonna give it a little bend, just like that. That will hold your brake pads in place and make sure that they're not going anywhere so that you don't go anywhere. All right guys, just one last little bit. We've taken off the front wheel, but I want to give you a quick show of how to take off your rear wheel as you need to replace your rear brakes. All right, we've made it back to the rear wheel. Like I said, this one's a little bit more complex, so just a quick tutorial on how to make sure to take it off safely with no damage to any of your components. First and most important step, make sure that your chain is on your smallest gear or your highest gear. It's all the way down the farthest away from the wheel. And then we're gonna remove it just like our front wheel. We're gonna do that quick release arm, just like on our seat post. We're gonna pop that open and we'll loosen it over here if we need to, but it's ready just to fall out as it is. So I'll grab the top of the wheel and I'll use my other hand and move over to the arm of the derailleur and push that down to give me some more space, and then it'll just drop straight out from there. Now that you have that wheel out, you can be able to change those brake pads, make sure your bike's all set to go, and that's all there is to it. Thanks for joining us again today. I really hope that you've been able to learn something useful and that you can not only learn it yourself, but also teach your friends. You know, biking is such a community sport, and it's that community that really brings us all together. So again, thank you for watching. I hope that you'll like and subscribe so you can see more videos like this, learn a few more tips and tricks, get out there on the trail and have a great time. Thanks guys.